are these ancient figures to be found, and what do they lead to? We've been taught since our school years some very specific things that have locked our minds to think in a specific way with very limited limits, a parameter. Thus, any thought that escapes this immediately seems absurd, impossible, or even a conspiracy. A simple example is that during antiquity, and especially in its unrecorded historical period, there was no communication between geographically distant areas. For example, the Americas with Europe or ancient Egypt, especially between continents or isolated islands in the Atlantic or Pacific Oceans. This is justified as it's claimed that the wheel did not exist even, while in addition people at the time did not have the ability and knowledge to build ships capable of traveling long distances. Despite these claims of the scientific community, objects are occasionally found that indicate that these official positions cannot be sustained any longer. However, our mind has already been programmed to think confined to limits that have been set for us from an early age. Thus, it has learned to question events and situations that are very likely to have occurred in the past due to this prohibition. A human civilization with advanced technology immediately becomes suspect, and you more easily accept the possibility that there were ancient astronauts who brought the technology. Consequently, it becomes particularly difficult for an academic to compare similarities in artifacts found in the four corners of the earth from cultures that, according to the above reasoning, had no kind of communication with each other. How then can images like these be justified? These images look a bit like an intelligence test developed by psychologists Alice Paul Torrance and Joy Paul Guilford in order to assess a person's level of intelligence and creativity. So what do we see? In this test, we could see people sitting inside a small booth and driving a small vehicle. What is in their hands is likely to be some kind of a control. Something similar is found in the famous slab cover of the sarcophagus of the Mayan king Pakal, the astronaut of Palenque. When this image reached the hands of the Soviet writer and scientist Alexander Kazantsev, he said that it represented a man driving a flying vehicle. The Palenque slab, and next to a modern representation indeed, von Daniken writes, we see a humanoid creature in an astronaut's suit in the position of a racing car driver with his torso leaning forward. Every child will recognize that what is around the creature, a rocket. In front of it is pointed. From the tail we see flames coming out. The creature operates a number of unspecified controls. The heel of the left foot steps on a kind of a pedal. What could we assume about these artifacts beyond and far from the official positions of scientists? Could there be some basis for a specific rationale for the figures that have been found in similar areas, but in completely foreign places in the world? Is it possible that those found within these similar frames are driving or piloting some kind of ground or flying vehicle? And the conclusions, of course, are yours. And I would say, yes, to me it does seem that way. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.